Are we expecting anyone else?
Dave Halverson said he was coming, but I don't know that I expect the applicants.
Okay, we have a minute to go, so we'll wait and see if he does sign in. Are we expecting anyone else?
I have nobody else to come tonight.
Okay, well, the time being 5:30. Can I get a mover and a seconder to open the meeting, please? Gordon and Elizabeth, it's been moved and seconded that the September 5th, 2024 public meeting, the Lakehead Rural Planning Board be opened, the time being 5:30 p.m. All those in favor? So moved. Can I get a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda, please? David and Axel, it's been moved and seconded that the September 5th, 2024 public meeting agenda of the Lakehead Rural Planning Board be approved. All those in favor? So approved. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interests? Seeing none, I will let Carrie take away the one application we have to deal with.
Perfect. So tonight we have an application that we received from Johan and Victoria Huseman for the property known locally as 862 Highway 588 in O'Connor Township. The application is proposing the creation of one new lot, being 6 hectares in size, leaving a retained lot just over 42 hectares. Sorry, the applicant is here. One moment. Okay, so the application was circulated to neighboring properties within 60 meters of the subject land. Notice was posted on the property, and agencies required through the Planning Act were circulated by email 14 days prior to this evening's meeting. The subject property fronts on Highway 588 in O'Connor Township. It's designated as rural in their official plan and zoned rural in zoning bylaw, or sorry, in their new zoning bylaw as of April 2022. The proposed new lot will require an entrance permit from the MTO as it fronts on Highway 588. And this will be a condition of the consent, as the MTO does not typically provide comment before decisions are made. And then, so we did receive agency comments from the Lakehead Region Conservation Authority stating that they have no objections to the proposed severance. Hydro One stated that they have no comments or concerns. Ministry of Mines stated that there are 3 known or recorded abandoned mine information system sites within 1 kilometer of the subject property. All those details were forwarded to the applicant with all other agency comments. And then this afternoon, we also received comment from Red Sky Métis stating that they have no concerns. We did not receive any comments from the public on this application. And O'Connor Council meeting, I believe, is next week. So another condition that they've requested is that we do have approval by letter from O'Connor Township prior to the consent being granted, just so that they have time to review that. So it would be my recommendation that we do approve this application in the following meeting.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. I see we have the applicant in attendance. Is there anything you'd like to add, Mr. Heisman? No one is being silent, which is okay. Do we have any questions from the board members for either the Secretary Treasurer or for the applicant? Seems pretty straightforward. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Without any further ado, do we have anything else for the public meeting today? I'm going to read your lips and read that you said no. Okay. No problem. Okay, that if there's nothing else for the public portion of our meeting, I will ask for a mover and a seconder to adjourn the public portion of the meeting. Gordon and Elizabeth, it's been moved and seconded that the September 5th, 2024 public meeting of the Rural Planning Board be adjourned. And the time being 5:34 p.m. All those in favor? All right, thank you. So we'll move on to our next agenda. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And can I get a mover and a seconder for the regular meeting? John and Gordon. It's been moved and seconded that the September 5th, 2024 regular meeting of the Lakehead Rural Planning Board be opened. The time being 5:35 p.m. All those in favor? Thank you, that's approved. Can I get a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda, please? David and David, in whatever order you would like. It's been moved and seconded that the September 5th, 2024 regular meeting agenda of the Lakehead Rural Planning Board be approved. All those in favor? And that is approved. And are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest in tonight's proceedings? Seeing none, do we have any deputations scheduled?
No, we do not.
No, we do not. We have the bylaw/resolution that we immediately saw in the previous public meeting. Are there any more comments to add to that, Carrie?
Nothing from me. It's just the usual conditions plus the one from MTO and the one from O'Connor Township.
Okay. Any other questions from board members for Carrie or the applicant? Seeing none, can I get a mover and a seconder to approve this application? David Halverson and John Savolta. It's been moved and seconded that the application 1B/03/24 from Johan and Victoria Heisman for the property described as O'Connor concession to South of Part Lot 1, PCL 17217 O'Connor, Geographic District of Thunder Bay, as set forth in the application be approved with conditions. All those in favor? Thank you, and congratulations, Johan. Your application has been approved.
Mind if I just explain the process?
Yeah,
beforehand?
absolutely. Go ahead.
So Johan, just so since you're here, we will issue a notice of decision likely Wednesday of next week. It's going to start your 20-day appeal period. Once the 20-day appeal period is over, as long as there's been no appeal, then you have 2 years to meet the conditions that will all be listed in your notice of decision next week.
Okay. Thank you for that. We'll move on to minutes of our previous meeting. Can I get a mover and a seconder for the public meeting minutes? Elizabeth and Axel, it's been moved and seconded that the Lakehead Rural Planning Board approves the public meeting minutes of the August 1st, 2024 public meeting as presented. Do we have any errors or omissions in these minutes? Seeing none, any other comments on the minutes, Carrie?
No.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes? Those minutes are approved. Can I get a mover and a seconder for the regular meeting minutes, please? David and Elizabeth, David West and Elizabeth. It's been moved and seconded that the Lakehead Rural Planning Board approves the regular meeting minutes of the August 1st, 2024 regular meeting as presented. Are there any questions or comments or errors or omissions on these minutes from anyone? Seeing none. All those in favor of approving these minutes? Thank you. Those minutes are hereby approved. What matters do we have arising from these minutes, Carrie?
None, actually. We did not have any new business or old business to discuss at the last meeting.
Okay. Then we can move on to the financial report. But you.
Okay, so I do want to point out, I did make an error. So for the official plan zoning bylaw review to date this year, we have spent $10,757.23. As a note, in 2023, we did spend $39,724.04. So at this point, we are $50,481.27 in so far, which leaves us just over 17,000 remaining for this project. Otherwise, no major updates on the finances.
Okay, any questions or concerns about the financial report? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is correspondence.
So, everything was in the package. So the first letter is from the credit union. They just merged with. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong document. With WFCU Credit Union. Nothing changes on our part. It's just a name change. So we wanted to give you that information. After that, we have 3 zoning bylaw amendment applications for the city of Thunder Bay and 1 official plan amendment application for the city of Thunder Bay. I don't see anything concerning, but if the board has anything that they wish to submit for comment, I can prepare those.
Gordon, go ahead.
Just a sarcastic comment. The city sends us this stuff. What if we can say no? Does it really affect anything since we're rural to the city? Why do they even send us this stuff?
Well, 1, they have to. 2, we as a board are able to comment if there was a property that was abutting Gorham, for example. If it changed something in the area that we have concerns over, we could provide those comment. We don't say no. We could say that we're not in support of it, or would recommend something. But it's the same as how we circulate all of our applications to the city, and agencies.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions on correspondence? Good. Seeing none, any new business?
So the only new business, I sent an email to everyone this afternoon. We do have a scope change request from our consultants on official plan and zoning bylaw review. So the new provincial policy statement for 2024 it has been released. It doesn't come into effect until October 20th, but our consultant has reached out and suggested that they take the documents that are in draft while we're waiting for further information from an agency, that they can take the time to make sure that everything complies with the new provincial policy statement. So in front of us tonight, they have provided a scope change, a total value of $4,500 plus HST plus a 7% admin fee. So I'm looking for direction from the board, or we can do a resolution, whatever's works best. Just to let them know if that's something that the board is okay with, so that they can either do that or not do that.
Gordon?
I read the document. Also, I went over and read the provincial policy statement. And if these are planners in Ontario, they must have read it for other municipalities or for their own knowledge. And I would hate to think that they're charging us because they got to read 60 pages. $4,500 seemed like a lot of money for the minor changes that are in the provincial policy statement. It doesn't seem to compute to me. Too much money.
Okay. Other comments or questions? Axel?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Gordon. It seems like an awful lot of money for not very much work. I went through the new policy statement too, as far as things that would apply to Gorham and Ware. I didn't really notice any changes, any substantive changes in the policy statement. They still don't want to have development in rural areas on a permanent basis, and they're still prioritizing aggregates over other uses. So I don't know what else has really changed. I don't know. I just think it's a lot of money for a lot of work.
Any other questions or comments? So, Carrie, have we been invoiced this amount, or it's an optional thing for us? How does this work?
They've provided the fees for it if we choose to do it.
Would it be proper to possibly ask them to give us a little bit more of an explanation of what the scope of work would entail?
I can certainly ask them, yep.
Because I certainly understand where the couple board members that have commented are coming from. but then again, it's probably prudent, since this is coming down the line real soon, probably prudent to be on board with everything that is in the new PPS. So, yeah, maybe that's a course of action that might allay some of the concerns of board members. If certainly doesn't hurt to ask, I think. What are other people's thoughts?
I would tend to agree.
I would agree too. I'd just say ask them to resubmit a better proposal to us than their cost now. And why? Yeah, like you say, explain the reason for the costs, and we'd like to see a better price.
Yeah, I guess that quote did say that it was, working with their rate structure, their hourly rate structure, but maybe a little bit of a better explanation on the scope of the work would be prudent.
I think too, if I can add,
Absolutely.
if we choose to not have them do this, we are still circulating our draft documents to the province to do their review, which takes upwards of a year. I suppose at that point, anything that we do miss from the new provincial policy statement, should that be the case, they would be adding that in as well. That doesn't necessarily save us money, because any changes they make leads to more work with the consultants. So it might be.
Yeah, it's going to be the same difference, possibly, anyways. But at this point, I mean, it would asking them for a little bit of clarification delay things unnecessarily, or what's the sense of how?
I think we're about 4 weeks out still, from the last bit of information that we're waiting for to complete the draft. So I think it'll be something that I would be able to ask them to provide. Whether or not I get a better price, there's nothing saying that we're for sure having a meeting so far in October. So if I can send out an email with the new information and have the board vote that way, that might be something that we have to look at.
Okay, I'm seeing lots of nods, so, okay. Axel?
The province is funding us 100% for the project anyway, don't they?
Sorry, I
Pardon?
didn't hear you.
The province is funding us 100% for this project anyways, aren't they?
No.
Like the full cost of this review is being granted to us by the government, is it not?
Well, the cost, I mean, our budget comes from the province, but it's not that we have a blank check to just add whatever we like. So we have a limited budget. The province tells us to do what we can with the budget they've given us. So any money we spend does make it more challenging for us to do other things. So.
But in order to do the review, we have to hire a planner. And so we're kind of at their mercy if they decide they need to do some extra work because of this provincial policy statement. But I don't know what you say. What do you say? No, we don't want to do it. And we sort of have to do our due diligence, I guess, in reviewing our proposed plan against the new policy statement. So they kind of have us over a barrel. And we can't really argue about the rate structure. That's how much it costs, I guess. I don't know.
Comments, Carrie?
Just that this is not funded by the province. This is funded through our reserves. The government provided us a special business case funding amount of $25,000 this year, which was unexpected. But we've been told from the get-go that we have to cover the costs.
Okay. Any other new business from anyone? I guess I can make a brief comment. Carrie and I with a couple members, one of our staff members from Oliver Punj and our mayor Lucy Klooster, who's had the opportunity to meet with Minister Calandra from Municipal Affairs and Housing, and Kevin Holland and a couple other ministers. I guess that's about a month ago now. And we talked about some of the challenges we have with funding and some of the challenges with the new official plan coming up and the constraints on development in the unorganized areas. And they said they're working on it. So I don't know what else to add. I'm sure you could add something, Carrie. It was It was a very congenial meeting. It was a very nice to have a chat with them, but we certainly didn't get any concrete answers or promises or anything like that.
It was a very promising meeting with no information, really. Minister Calandra indicated that he's very aware of the issues that the planning boards are having across the province. He seemed very surprised that we have never requested to be paid more than the $40,000 that we get annually, which is false. We have requested more information. But he also, I think he indicated that although he's not going to look at it until next year, he is planning to review the way that planning boards operate in the future, starting in 2025. What that leads to, I don't know.
Yeah, there was certainly, yeah, like I said, it was a feel-good meeting. And then when it was over, we didn't really, he said he was aware and he was working on it, so we didn't really accomplish a lot, I guess, but other than emphasize his awareness. So, you know,
Yes.
it's nice to put a name to the face, I guess, from their perspective, and or voice to the name and whatever, and we were able to have a good meeting with them. So, and it was similar with the issues that Oliver Papoon had specifically with the ministries. So, but that's often how it goes when we meet with provincial ministries, as I've learned in my few years at council. So, and I'm sure other municipal councilors could attest to that. Okay, if there is nothing else for this meeting, I'd like to thank everyone for your attendance, and we don't have a closed session scheduled, so we have come to the end of our agenda. Can I get a mover and a seconder for the adjournment of this meeting, please? Elizabeth and John, it's been moved and seconded that the September 5th, 2024 regular meeting of the Lakehead Rural Planning Board be adjourned. The time being 5:51 p.m. All those in favor?